Hi, my name is Russ Macklem. We're here today to speak about a debut album on TQM Recordings. It's called the South Detroit Connection. I am a trumpet player and composer living here in Windsor, Ontario, and also based in Detroit, Michigan, as an active musician on these two scenes. And that's a good intro, yes.
When Russ asks for a date, it's, I just look right away. I need a gig between January 1st and January 20th, a Saturday preferred. It's funny, people wouldn't know that, but that is part of the process of booking shows here for me. It's like, some people ask and you just go right, whatever you're doing, doctor's appointment, you just go to the calendar and book it. But I know, I didn't really know what the project was going to be. I don't think I was privy to the significance. It's like, oh, this guy's gonna come record it.
Kind of a really great friend, Ron Skinner. We met during the pandemic. I used to sometimes, to the disgruntlement of my sometimes bandmates, would put up live streams of us playing in the goddamn parking lot. But Ron Skinner, who is the audio engineer, he just happened to hear it, and he was kind of like, what the hell? And he grew up in the Windsor area, has a little record label he started kind of as a side project, and was kind of shocked that there was this level of, musicianship here in Windsor. One of my best friends on the recording, ARRUDA, and he hit me up and he said, hey man, I haven't seen you. What if I set up a gig down here? He's like, that sounds great. I was like, cool. Sam Dickinson, also one of my best friends, and I was like, well, shit, that's easy. Let me ask Sam if he wants to do the gig. One of my favorite living guitarists. Then I was like, well, I need to find some compatriots from Detroit. And so my next call was JONATHON MUIR-COTTON, and he was like, yeah, I'm down. KASAN Belgrave, and I just called him up, and I was like, hey dude, what are you doing on this Wednesday? I kind of sat there for a couple of days like, well, man, these people have never played together, but that doesn't matter. I know, I could already hear by the time I hung up the phone with KASAN, like what this could sound like. This is a great room. Obviously, when you hear the sound on this recording, it's unbelievable. Very much thanks to Ron and Ryan Fields, also as assistant engineer on the date. You can make wonderful sounding records in here. And to have a room full of people really inspires you. For me, it really inspired me. This is probably the first live record that's done in a long time, and certainly one of my favorite trumpet players of all time is, KASAN's father, Marcus Belgrave, and as far as I know, he was the last person to make a live jazz record in Windsor, just down the street at Capitol Theater, I think in 2001. I just called up Ron, and I said, hey Ron, what are you doing on January 4th? And he was like, this is about the beginning of December. He said, I don't really have any plans, what's going on? It's like, do you want to make a live recording? And he said, yeah, okay. I said, okay, cool. And I kind of explained, the personnel that were going to be, involved.
Ryan Fields has been a very long-standing friend, and he was doing sound on the soundboard here for years as a customer. Two of them walked by in the window the night before, and I was like, why is Ryan here? And then I put it together. It was like, oh, this is the real deal. If Ryan is the right-hand man of who's the man, okay, this is gonna be wild. This is gonna sound good. But yeah, obviously those two coming in, I started to understand the gravity, like, oh, they're really making something important.
His band is not only composed of great players, they're players that I think are very much attuned to Russ's musical vision. The rootedness in the tradition and the ability to extend that tradition in personal, evocative, and emotionally compelling ways.
There's not really any rules, it's just enjoy the music, and if you hear something you like, don't be afraid to shout, clap, whatever. We've got the great ARRUDA from New York City at the drums. From Toronto, my friend, longtime collaborator, Sam Dickinson on guitar. At the bass, the fantastic Jonathan Muir-Cotton from Detroit. And one of Detroit's most blessed sons, the amazing KASAN Belgrave.
Well, let me just say that I think the Detroit scene is great for Russ, and having seen him there in his element, I know that he's already a very esteemed and cherished part of that musical community, one that is so important in the history of this music. It's a great place, it's a great scene, and I know he's making a significant contribution to it.
I think he has so much respect for people who were before him and just the music that he studied. I think that just because he had that respect off the bat, I feel like people respected him easily after that. And so, you know, Russ is not about any bullshit. You know, he's, you know, super cutthroat, super real dude, and I respect him for that.
For me, Russ is a kindred spirit because of his brilliant creativity, his fearless exploration and sound. He's one of those guys that's really special. What he brings to the city is just another piece of the conversation in the lineage of what it is to play trumpet, and more importantly, what it is to play that Midwest trumpet. He's got that sound, he's got that fire, and he's in that lineage, man. I couldn't find anybody that I know of the old guard that would be displeased with it they hear from us.
I play the trumpet, and we're gonna get going for you here.
So impressed with what Russ has done, having gone through 3 years of school as his teacher, mentor, and friend, colleague as well. To see him come out and get to the point where I can really hear him having realized the things that he was working towards.
Played the same, you know, the suite one time, then we took a break, and then we came back and we recorded the same thing again. And the second set, everybody's kind of a little looser and not just what translated well onto the wax. That's one thing I'm very proud of, is that we came out there and we just, like, all together, we had played this set of music together. When you hear that second set, that's the third time we played that music together ever. And to me, it just sounds very deep and like not that way at all.
I'm a huge fan of his solos, and shout out to KASAN Belgrave, was also featured on that. Was the son of the late great Marcus Belgrave, my mentor. So there's a connection in the lineage and the generations that's reflected in this project, which is huge because the continuum or the continuation of this music generation is also reflected in this body of work. So I'm excited for my brother Russ. I think this is fantastic. And it's not just about this one record, but it's about the catalog of records that's gonna come. So, like, this is the first bullet in the chamber. We know, so we gotta empty some clips.
During the time that I knew him in Miami, it's just really gratifying. It's really amazing that, you know, he had his perseverance and his stick-to-itness has really paid off.